Alright, welcome back to the workshop. So for today's shenanigans, more shelving. So I spoke the other day after building this bench that I was going to put another shelf along the back here. So that'll hold all the chucks and stuff for the lathe. But what it'll also do is just give me some more shelving space over here. So just another shelf from Local Mitre 10, won't bore you with the details of putting that together. I'm going to try and do it slightly differently because that one's set up as an actual shelf, whereas I want the bottom part to be open. So I'll just put the shelves up a bit and then probably put some brackets on the bottom. So I won't bore you with putting it together because you've seen me put enough shelves together, I think, already. So I'll do that and then come back to you as way of an update. So this table here that I built with the mechanic sort of chest of drawers things there on it, I said I was going to do one in the electronics room, so I've done that one. So picture here. The main thing for today is the solar. So in order to get my solar up and running, these batteries that are sitting here need to be hooked up to inverters and chargers and whatnot. So I was going to put the batteries originally outside, but then thinking about it, realised that it's too cold here, so I'm going to put them inside here. But I'm going to put them up against a little brick wall that's behind me here. So I've also bought a cupboard. This is the cupboard here. I think maybe I should have gone for a slightly taller one. The main reason for putting the batteries in the metal box there is so that if they do let go for whatever reason, that they're contained within there and don't set fire to the property. That'll be after I've put this thing together and put it on the bench over there. So I'll be back in a sec. So as you can see, the shelves are now on the workbench. So as you can see, it gives me a little bit extra workspace here, storage space. So the couple more things I've now got to just do is when I've put them on the workbench here, obviously with the feet there just to stop it scratching, there's now a bit of a gap. But what I want to do is actually bolt these two together. So I've just got to put a bolt through here and put a couple of washers or another nut or something in there just to hold it all together. The other thing I'm going to do is put these brackets on just to stop it from tipping over. So these are all bolted down now and together. So I found some white plastic washer things and I've just put some nuts and bolts through it. It has sort of skewed it a little bit, but it's nice and solid. Screwed it to the bench as well, so there's plenty of strength holding that there. And when I sort of shake just the bench, when I shake the shelving, the whole bench wobbles. So that means obviously it's pretty well secured. So now I can just put some stuff on there and put the lathe on there, and that will work hopefully quite happily. So moving on to the next thing, which is the solar box. So in hindsight, maybe I should have bought a taller one of these. We'll see. Alright, that's the feet and the base, obviously. Okay, so there's the basic cabinet done. I've obviously not finished yet. The next thing to put in is the shelf, and then I'm going to test fit the batteries in there. Here we go. Alright. So I want the door to go that way, so that when it opens, it's going into the wall rather than into the open space. Okay, so one completed box. Alright, so this is where it's going to sit. And then the lead acid one's going to go underneath that. And then I'll just run the cables from the panels up through the roof and the ceiling. And I think that should work. So it's got one hole down the bottom on the back for cables to come through already. I don't think they're going to be big enough for the cables. I might also swap those two inverters over because the lead acids are on the bottom, so if I reuse that existing hole, then it can go straight up to that inverter, and I'm probably using that one as a secondary more than a primary, or the smaller stuff, because then I've also got these other two inverters as well. So I've got this one, which is it's a super cheap branded one, but it was good for doing lights and my Ryobi battery charger. So that might be one I've got to just use somewhere. That can probably just get mounted on the side somewhere. And then I've got this King's 1000 watt one, which was a backup in case any of the other inverters failed. Or just also, if I didn't want to use the bigger ones, I could just use these for smaller tools. That was the setup I had in the other shop. So I've also got to fix this inverter because the fan's just noisy, so I'll just pop a new fan in that. So the other reason for putting the charge controllers on the outside is so that I can actually see what's going on. Thinking that I've also got to put my breakers and earth leakage stuff on there as well yet. So I'll have a bit of a mull over that and come back in a minute when I've come up with a preferred outcome. So thanks for hanging around in the shop with me again today. Don't forget to give it a like and a subscribe. You can follow along and come for the ride and leave a comment down below and tell me how you think I should be setting it up if you don't agree with what I've done, and just say hello in general. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.